Hello and welcome back to the Milltown Way. This is episode 29. I'm Ryan Brennan. I'm joined here, as always, by Adam Casey. We're recording post match yet again due to these double game weeks of the bank holiday weekend. We're just back from seeing Shamrock Rovers beat Drogheda United 4-1. We'll get into that. We also have an interview announcement that will be taking place tomorrow, and hopefully will be on social media platforms tomorrow as well, on YouTube and the likes. And then we'll also be looking ahead to Friday night's trip to Galway United, a sold out away end in Eamon DC Park. But I suppose we'll start first of all on the game that did just take place. Shamrock Rovers 4, Drogheda United 1. Positive all round, really.
Yeah, very good performance from Rovers all the way around. And we mentioned after the kind of, I don't know, what's the right word, somewhat lackluster performance against Waterford on Friday.
Yeah.
Despite coming up with the win and getting the 3 points, we mentioned that performance like that just probably wouldn't have cut it against Drogheda, but they proved us wrong.
Yeah,
They done
but
the opposite.
happily proved wrong as
Yeah,
well. One of them. All round, I think it was a solid performance. 4-1, you can't really ask for much better than that.
hmm
The only thing you probably could argue is a clean sheet, but even that goal that Drogheda got was quite a strong deflection
yeah, there
that
wasn't a
wrong
lot you
foot
could do.
McGinty. Yeah, exactly. There wasn't a lot you could do. Literally changes complete different direction, and leads to Drogheda getting a goal back. And then I suppose we spoke while watching the game as well to think,
Yeah,
we spoke of our concerns. I think this might just, one goal changes things and might let them back into the away end began to start singing as well.
yeah,
But ultimately, Rovers silenced Drogheda.
yeah.
It was also Drogheda's first game with away fans since their trip to Oriel Park, where they threw the flares on the pitch and
Good
done
thing
up
they
there.
didn't do that in Tallaght.
If only they ripped the tannoy off from the ground instead.
They should have, yeah, if only if they destroyed the whole of Oriel Park.
um, but yeah, no, look, we're here, and I suppose a very good mood after that 4-1 win. You couldn't, as I said, you
Yeah,
couldn't really be asking for much more from that game. It had a mix of, well, as you like to point out, had a mix of set piece goals and
yeah,
open
there
play
was.
goals.
We have mentioned about set piece goals quite frequently, and another two set piece goals from Rovers today, both coming from corners, both in the first half. With John McGovern getting the first right after he missed a somewhat decent chance. That I think a lot of people. There's a bit
Yeah,
of confusion with the offside with that first goal,
yeah. So
just before the first goal
Aaron Green's quite literally shouting. You can see
for
him
him to leave it.
for him to leave the ball, because he thinks McGovern's offside. And ultimately, like, it's quite funny because you think of it, if had McGovern have been offside, I'm sure Green would have probably
Yeah,
would have been letting him know of his feelings of that. But ultimately, obviously, look, he's onside. The He gets a one on one with the keeper. Ultimately, it leads to a corner. He doesn't put it away, but then he makes no mistake of a second chance from that corner.
no, it's kind of whipped in and then kind of bounces around for a moment and just from the edge. Well, kind of midway out into the
Mm.
box to the right side, just hits it, and it
Took a
went
deflection as
lovely.
well. That goal.
Yeah, but still settled nicely in the corner, and
They all count.
yeah, that's what matters.
Once it goes over the line, it doesn't really matter what else happens with it.
Exactly.
But I think on McGovern, and of course, look, he ends up getting not only another goal, he also gets an assist as well. But overall, what a performance from John
Yeah, I
McGovern,
know.
glowing man of the match
Yeah,
display.
a lot of positive performances, but John McGovern exceptional. Two goals. I think we would have liked him maybe to get the third towards the
Yeah,
end.
I'm
The
sure he
hat
might have been
trick.
thinking. I think I would imagine, not to say he would have been taken off generally, anyways, but I'm sure Bradley also kept him on so he could try get that hat trick.
Yeah, three of the best. He's made them pay.
But
But
yeah, also that was it was really positive from McGovern. Also, then you have what led to another goal was Sabawale, good movement down that right wing.
yeah, he kept the ball in really well.
Yeah, ends up
I don't know
yeah
how he kept it in at one point.
yeah, and I think he done about maybe I think he attempted about three dummies and
Yeah,
he was getting the better of his marker, but yeah, he delivers a good ball in the box, looks threatening. Ultimately, he was cleared out for a corner, and then that corner also led to a
yeah,
goal.
that was a lovely kind of ball to the back post from Jack Byrne, and we mentioned it after the goal. It's one of them ones that you just like to see
It's
where
aesthetically
they get
pleasing.
up and just knock it down into the corner. And Matt Healy was the one who done that.
Yeah, yeah, and it was yeah, I think one of them, it gives the keeper a little chance of saving it as well,
Yeah,
putting it right in that bottom corner, and yeah, ultimately sends Rovers on their way, really, doesn't it?
yeah. And that was then 2-0. Just about 10 minutes before half time, and kind of coasted then into half time. There wasn't a lot of action then. But in now it's kind of 10 minutes after that second goal.
Yeah, yeah, no, not until well the second half, yeah,
And
and then
then
you have Rovers kind of coming out nearly off the blocks, out the blocks.
yeah,
Aaron Green had a one-on-one chance early
yeah,
in the second half, tries to chip the keeper,
yeah. That
doesn't
was
work.
right away. That was like
Yeah,
from tip off and then he basically went in. It was like 46 minutes.
yeah, and as well, then he got a second bite of the cherry.
Yeah,
Still didn't go in, but that was a great ball in and
yeah.
great movement from
He was
Green. Still
unlucky.
to get the shot
He was
off.
unlucky with the chip, and then he got the second. He took the second effort as well. That went just out as well. But credit for that chance that Green had, a fantastic ball in from Victor.
Yeah, and then
And
another 90 minutes in his tank as well for
yeah, and
Victor.
just speaking of his true balls, as we mentioned, talked about the first goal and how it was from a corner. He was the one who played the through ball to John McGovern to get that corner.
Yeah,
He was fantastic today, and he would pay off when he got the assist for the third goal. But yeah, he was playing a lot of lovely balls and just getting the ball in the middle and receiving it well, and just we've criticized him before for sometimes he gets the ball in his feet and he has space and he just tries to play it forward too quick. But it felt today that he was getting it. He was taking his time on the ball and he was going and he was driving and then doing the pass, which is something that comes with experience.
yeah, and he's well. Double game weeks like this is just getting more
Back
and
to
more
back
experience.
90s.
Yeah, like it's not easy no matter
No.
what really age group you are. I know he's young, and maybe there's some probably listen. Maybe I'll have the opinion that he's young, should be able to play all them minutes, but
Yeah.
obviously of course look it's tough on the legs and tough for Victor who's getting the grips with the demands of this game. But he's shown like look he's only improving. And I'm sure maybe by the time it comes around to it, I'm sure people will have the opinion if they don't already that Arsenal are underpaying for him when
Yeah.
it comes to it
But
with that 2 million fee.
back to back 90s in basically like 4 days.
Mm.
But also, even if you take it back to the Derry game the week before, the Waterford one, he played the full 90 that day as well.
Yeah,
So he's just really coming to his own the last few weeks, kind of since that Shelburne win on the last bank holiday. I feel like he's just really taken that extra step, and his performances have shown that he's just maybe getting a bit more confident, maybe just getting a bit more focused, and yeah, he's been exceptional since then.
yeah, no, he has, and yeah, look, it comes with playing time as well, and Bradley's he's placing a lot of trust in him, and
Yeah,
it's good to see, and it's good to see it's paying off as well.
yeah, it's good to see him putting that much trust in such a into a 17-year-old kid. Like,
Yeah, there's like look when the deal was done, and obviously it was that he won't be leaving until he turns 18, which is obviously next January. But there's a reason that Arsenal said that they trust Rovers with his development until he goes 18, and it's they're seeing it now. They're seeing the rewards being
yeah,
paid off, and Bradley, as I said, Bradley playing him every week now, managing his minutes, and yeah, no, doing well.
yeah, definitely, and he's just continued to get better and better. And as you said, could comes at a time when he does leave, and you think Arsenal have gotten a steal here.
Yeah, exactly. We're
Most
looking
expensive player in League of Ireland's history, but it's still a steal.
exactly. The after Green's chance, 2 minutes later was when Drogheda did pull one back to
Yeah,
make it 2-1.
it was a bit
Wrong.
of a fluke. I don't want to say a fluky goal,
You
but a
see,
little bit. Was it that he'll claim that he
uh,
meant it?
would you say? Well, if he's wrong, he wrong footed McGinty. But would you say McGovern's first goal was a fluke?
No. But no, it was Mark Doyle got his head on a shot and just ended up in the back of the net. It was one of them ones that no one's really to blame for.
Yeah, I suppose so, and I think that led to a little bit of a period, as we were kind of
Yeah,
saying then, because Rovers got a little bit sloppy at the back. McGinty
yeah,
played out a pass that just about gets out from Drogba's
yeah,
initial press, then gets dispossessed in the middle of the park, and you're thinking this might have the ingredients to be a banana
yeah,
peel moment where they start to come back in, and that's when Drogheda fans started to kind of make a little bit of noise. Not much that they made this evening, but they did. The noise came when the goal went after the goal went in, and then as I said,
There was a few chances. There was one like from a corner, just took a deflection, just went just wide. Or there was just they had a few chances that just on another day take one extra touch and they're in the back of the net. And when it's 2-2, it's a completely different game. It's anyone's game then, and
yeah, yeah,
goals change games.
yeah. The famous old saying. Yeah, because then deflection comes off Healy and wrong foots McGinty again, and
Yeah,
I think everyone then started to think, oh no,
here we go.
yeah, that leads to a corner. Then there's another chance from the corner that goes slightly wide. But then I suppose after that, that's when kind of Rovers started to manage the game a bit better.
Yeah,
Um, I think there was periods probably where there was a little bit sloppy from the defense or even just from the back in general,
yeah.
including McGinty with that.
Even at
Um,
the end of the game as well, McGinty, well, once they just played it right out to,
yeah,
or they when Drogheda had a chance right at the end, like McGinty came out and it was a 1-on-1 and he just got his hand on the ball.
yeah.
That was way too easy for Drogheda to get in behind. But you could say, would that have happened if they weren't 4-1 up?
Moments.
Yeah,
It's these
yeah,
moments as decided. We always draw this back to Rovers and the Bows game.
yeah.
Does
Where we
that?
say, yeah, would
Yeah.
Rovers have got the two?
But yeah, I suppose look, it's all ifs and buts, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think there was, yeah, I suppose there probably a little bit of maybe being a little bit less settled from Rovers as well because there was changes in the back line.
yeah,
Obviously Pico comes out there. You've Adam Matthews who comes in, done really well as well. Starting there, and Lee Grace, Dan Cleary, Sabawale.
yeah.
I
It was
know
strange
you,
not seeing Pico in the starting lineup, but
yeah, not in the squad either.
no, he
Um,
was doing an interview though at the end outside the ground with a few fans.
um, yeah, exactly. But I suppose another honourable mention for this Rovers team was that we haven't sung his praises yet is of course Melissa Asamoah.
Yeah, his best
Uh,
performance definitely by far so far this season for Rovers, and you got a goal, which was nice. It's nice when a player has a good game and they get that thing that puts them on the stat sheet or gives them something to celebrate for.
but I thought maybe I'm getting ahead of myself because there was of course 8 minutes before that was the third goal of the
Yeah,
game. Yeah,
John
I'm
McGovern's
just
third.
getting excited about
Yeah,
Melissa Asamoah here. Um,
but another great ball from Victor too. John McGovern.
sets up so well, and yeah, great ball in from Victor, slips him in, and he hits it first time. I'm nearly sure as well,
Yeah,
and that makes it 3-1. And that came at such an important time because as we just mentioned there about there was the ingredients that Drogheda they got a fluky goal maybe. Are
yeah.
we calling it a fluky goal? We call McGovern's first goal a fluky goal,
I think one of them was fluky, and it wasn't John
and
McGovern's.
it wasn't the fella in the green and white jersey.
No.
um, but yeah, so that was it had all the ingredients for that sort of game to go that way. But then that third goal was crucial, and obviously that puts a bit of daylight between the teams, and
Yeah,
or as you said, we can breathe.
yeah. It's a bit of breathing room, and as you said, it came at the right time. It came kind of just a few minutes after that flurry from Drogheda and just kind of put the game to a bit more of a calm nature. It wasn't. I think everyone had a bit of a sigh of relief when that goal went in,
Yeah,
and they could quit holding their breath.
yeah, and then obviously 8 minutes later, McGovern kind of set up Asamoah a little bit similar to the way he was set up by Victor.
Yeah,
Um, Sets a kind of true ball. Asamoah has to control it a little bit, but then makes no mistake with the finish, and that was the goal. That obviously was the last one of the game, and yeah, no, well taken and topped off a good performance from Asamoah. So it was
yeah,
deserved. It's good to have him have that moment. A player who's again probably getting to grips with the league, but definitely tonight was going to be a big
yeah,
big confidence booster in general to get his name on the score sheet.
yeah. Definitely, it was his best performance for Rovers so far this season.
Yeah, and he had a couple of other chances as well throughout the game. So to see that was paid off, and
Yeah,
yeah, hopefully that's something to build on now going forward for Elise Asamoah.
yeah. Hopefully that now can push him on to just give him that little bit of a boost, a little bit of confidence, and help him now with the rest of the season.
Yeah, the so then on the seven, what about 71 minutes in?
There was
Stephen
a
Bradley decides to
quintuple change.
Stephen Bradley decides to change half of the outfield players.
Yes, yeah, actually, yeah. When you put it like that,
Yeah, five changes come at once. And I think probably as the supporters who were at the game or maybe watched it on LOI TV would have maybe heard the big reception did come for when Aaron Green made way for 17-year-old Ben Mahon.
yeah,
He made his senior debut for the club after arriving from UCD last summer, and he's tipped to be a bright a bright prospect at
yeah.
the at Rovers, and he probably like it was only a cameo appearance on his debut, and he is 17.
Unfortunately,
Um,
he did go down injured though at the end.
that's the issue, isn't it? That he came off, it looked like a hamstring issue for Ben Mahon, but yeah, positive signs there. Um, I think looking at his build, he looks like he would be like he doesn't look typical 17-year-old comes on for the debut, and kind of he looks like he could be ready for,
Yeah, he
but,
does.
or
Yeah,
when ready in gradually, I suppose.
yeah. But no, it's a shame he got injured in his debut. But no, still good to see him coming on, and especially at 17 to be coming on and making his debut for the senior team. It's impressive, but yeah, it's just a shame he went off when he did, and obviously he went off right at the end, so there was no substitutions made for him. But yeah, it's just
But
a shame. But like, it was great to see the reception he got for when he came on. Uh, the reception as well was probably for Aaron Green coming off as well because he deserves it.
because he's Aaron Green.
Yeah, he's Aaron Green. There's no real other reason needed.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, like I suppose it's funny when you look at it, you have between Ben Mahon, Naj Razi, and John O'Sullivan, three subs coming on. Age group is between 17 and 20.
Yeah,
Ben Mahon obviously being 17, John O'Sullivan being 20, and then you're adding two already kind of younger players or player on the pitch within Victor Osimhen,
yeah.
who's 17, and like I know we often say about Corey O'Sullivan,
Hmm.
who's one that you forget his age sometimes when you're watching him play
Yeah,
on a weekly basis, but Victor Osimhen, the fact that he's 17, he just
yeah.
kind of he just
You forget it.
you,
You
he
forget he's
like
seven. You forget he was born in 2009.
jeez, don't
That
say
hit
it,
you there. We got a live reaction to that.
don't say that. Oh God, yeah. The fact that he's 17, born in 2009, that makes me feel
Old.
it does. Um, but the fact that becoming such an important player, he'll be such a big player for Rovers this year, no doubt
Mhm.
about it. And he will be until he departs in, well, what is it now? 7 months.
I don't like that.
It's counting down, and yeah, no, but Rovers have such a youthful squad at the minute,
Yeah,
and that's just I think it can be a really I suppose strong sign of where the squad is at,
yeah,
because you want to. I think for Rovers to go further in Europe, whether it be the Conference League and trying to make it to the knockout phase, or whether it's trying to make it to the Europa League, whatever the goal is for Bradley this summer. I
go
think
with him is always more. That's what he
winning the
was.
Champions
Yeah,
League. um, but a good sign is always if you can have a strong squad that is ultimately a younger squad. I think
yeah,
that's always a good sign, because if
yeah,
you're relying on players who are slightly older, like your Aaron Greens and your Rory Gaffneys, it it can become a bit more of an issue.
yeah. But more injury prone and small stuff like that.
I
But
suppose,
also, it's a good. But then we talk about the young players coming in. There is then that issue of that you're going to have more turnover of players,
yeah,
which that's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah. Well, um, yeah, I suppose so. But well, like even elsewhere, like there's young Asamoah. He's only 23. You
Yeah.
have Adam Brennan, who's 18, Michael Noonan 17.
Hmm.
The Yeah, I just what I will say is we might have gotten tonight might be a small sample size into how Rovers are going to look defensively throughout the summer as well,
Yeah. True.
because there will be no Pico Lopez in the lineup throughout
Don't
for a few
remind me.
games. So and he's away with Cape Verde at the World Cup. So this might provide a little bit of a
Yeah, a
window
little
just to.
glance into how Rovers are going to have to adapt to losing him for a few months, but
Well, he's not going away for the year, bro.
yeah, true. Well, it'll probably be at least a month he's gone for.
Yeah,
At least, then that's excluding if they finish third in their group or anything or make it out of the group. Or if they
yeah,
win the whole thing.
yeah, yeah. Like you ultimately, yeah, because like that, it's not gonna. I don't think it'll be anywhere near a case of the minute kind of Cape Verde are done
Yeah.
back with route like
No, no, no. He's not going to be there the next day. Like,
it.
I think we checked before about their fixtures and they're playing. I think Rovers are playing the day after one of their games.
You never know.
You never know.
If they're already out by that game, maybe Brady might make a phone call to say, "Here, don't play Pico on that
You never know. He has that power.
one." But yeah, no, look, all around, I think everyone can feel confident. Obviously, we've come a bit off the beaten track there of going from Ben Mahon coming on for his debut.
When Pico will be back from the World Cup. But
uh,
then also, on this point as well, he will leave. It's not like they leave the day the World Cup starts. They leave a week or so before for training camp and stuff.
yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know why I'm reminding myself that we'll be Pico less for a few weeks.
Oh Lord.
But
Cancel this podcast. If it wasn't cancelled before now,
yeah.
like we can do it, finish it off here.
Well, some people had their way.
um, I saw after Rovers were 4-1 up and after the wholesale changes, probably does disrupt the rhythm of the game a little bit.
Yeah.
As I said, Yard changing half of the outfield.
Yeah.
But chance from a set piece from Drogheda, um, that was kind of a couple of chances from that, and then ultimately the last kind of memory of the game.
Hmm.
86 minutes in, Derek Kareem gets 1-on-1 with Ed McGinty, gets acres of space,
Yeah.
makes a charge and run from kind of the semicircle.
Hmm.
Ultimately leads to a 1-on-1 with Ed McGinty, tries to take it around, and McGinty times his dive very well.
Yeah. Got his hand perfectly on that ball.
Yeah, you can see he's kind of waiting and waiting to kind of commit.
Yeah.
You commit too early, and you can kind of there's a bit maybe more opportunity
Yeah,
to.
to lobby it or bend it around you, and then if you commit too late, it's
And
just
it could very easy. These things become penalties as well.
that's true. Yeah,
You know,
but no,
um,
he done extremely well, just getting his hand just to the ball. Because in a moment like that, your hand is even if it's slightly too high or anything like that, penalty.
yeah,
And I know when you're 4-1 up with like 5 minutes to go, but you
Bradley
just
wouldn't be
don't.
happy with it.
No, and either with Ed, he
No,
wants one goal conceded is enough for him on a day. Obviously, a clean sheet would have been ideal, especially for him, but I don't think he can be put to blame for anything. I think he was very solid this evening.
yeah, I think so. I think there's just probably a couple of moments where I just thought it was, as I was saying about the unnecessary kind of playing out from the back.
Yeah, I felt like there was
No, he's not
a
the only
few too
one.
risky balls, a few hospital passes and stuff.
Yeah, like he's not the only one. Like obviously the other option is to kind of go along with it, maybe more so
Yeah,
than trying to play it out. It does lead to a couple kind of iffy moments, particularly when the game's a bit tighter. You're thinking that's not the decision to make. You
no,
kind of just get rid. And same with there was a moment when Enda Stevens had it near the sideline, and again like that. I know it's like a 4-1 at that point, but
still,
he instead of hoofing it, we said at the moment, and then everyone I think was kind of nearly shouting just to just
just
clear
to
your
get
lines.
rid. Yeah,
And he's trying to play it out from the back. Ultimately, he finds the pass, but then he's dispossessed. I can't remember who he ends up giving it to, but he's then dispossessed, and I just things like that sometimes it's just unnecessary.
yeah,
You don't need to put unnecessary pressure on yourself, particularly if it was a tighter situation. Um, that yeah, it's just maybe a little bit more, bit careless maybe
yeah,
in
a
them
little bit,
moments.
but I suppose it's a positive thing if we're complaining about
Little
stuff that could have happened.
yeah, and little moments I suppose
Yeah,
as well, isn't it? That's the key part of it. But look, the results went Rovers' way elsewhere as well.
mm.
Everyone drew.
Yeah, true. Everyone did draw, but it seemed like there were some good games throughout the league, though.
I have to like I said to you, if only there was match of the day
Yeah, yeah,
version. It used to be Soccer, Soccer Republic, I think.
yeah,
Used to be like a highlight show of League of Ireland games. But they used to, I think, if my memory serves me correctly, I was only a kid at the time when that was
yeah,
used to be broadcast. But I think they used to throw in like mix with Premier League as well and stuff. I can't. Mine's not serving me correct on that because I said it was. I remember watching it as a child.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the other, it was the Irish version of Match of the Day nearly.
yeah. But that's a vague memory.
Yeah.
How old were you?
Yeah, probably would have been maybe 7 or 8.
So what year was that? Was Victor even born yet?
Nice one. Oh, the 2008 or 9. So
Yeah,
Victor was probably in the womb at that point.
yeah, that's crazy.
um, but yeah, look, elsewhere the results were you couldn't really ask for much better, really.
No,
Everyone
Rovers gained on everyone.
everyone dropped 2 points
Yeah,
elsewhere. Uh,
3 points clear to top of the league now.
bit of breathing
Yeah,
space.
and obviously the goal difference improvement as well, just in case.
Yeah, still not better than Pat's goal
No,
difference, which is well, I don't know. Rovers don't. I know tonight was 4-1, but Rovers don't tend to really put teams away.
they don't score loads of goals.
No.
Like, look at Dundalk have scored 26 goals, but 23 conceded.
Yeah, that ratio is too even for them to be getting overly excited, I think, at the minute.
Yeah,
But I suppose they are level points with Bows. Bows still sitting in third as well.
yeah,
And what? That's a 9 game winless run there on now.
yeah,
9 games without a win, they still sit third.
yeah. Well, I thought they already won the league.
That's it. This is the resting players now. These are the games. When the league's
Yeah,
done and you
yeah,
have a
yeah.
couple
Your
of games
rest
left.
player.
This is what they're doing now until October. um, but yeah, no, it's like look, we always say the League of Ireland probably one of the most unpredictable leagues in
Yeah,
the
it's a
world, and
league you don't want to bet on.
no, it's not. That's why it is probably that's sorry, I said probably there by mistake. That's why it is the greatest league in the world as
Yeah,
well. Um, but yeah, no, look, it's positive for Rovers. It was a positive night all round, really. 4-1, three goals added into the goal
hmm,
difference, as you said. And everyone dropping points. Pats ultimately 1-1 with Sligo at the showground, and Bows dropping or well, drawing 2-2 with Shells
yeah,
at Daily Mount. Derry 1-1 with Galway, and Waterford 3-0 with Dundalk. Like
yeah,
it's funny as well because the 4 other games are draws, but they're all score draws. So
yeah. No nil nils.
yeah, whereas that night, the last time
Just
Galway,
yeah, just before the Paddy's Day it
yeah,
was.
last time Watford were on the telly, I
Yeah,
think.
it was 4-3 against Galway.
Yeah, they lost that night. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they
because they sure they
lost.
haven't
Yeah,
won a game
yeah,
yet.
they lost 4-3 to Galway, but every other game that day was nearly nil nil besides one.
Yeah, Dundalk was 1-0 that night.
Yeah,
So yeah, there was between 3 games there was no goals, and between the 2 other games there was 8 goals. Then between one game there was 7 of them in the
yeah.
one.
Those when Rovers were away to Drogheda then that night.
Yeah, and it ended 0-0.
It was,
Backs to the wall performance from Drogheda, and
yeah,
Rovers couldn't break them down, but broke them down tonight and
that's what matters.
extend their lead at the top.
Yeah, and you can't complain about that. It's a good way to cap off a bank holiday weekend.
So this is it. 2 wins from 2. You can't go wrong. But yeah, I suppose we'll move it on. We did touch on in the last episode as we were addressing well things from the previous episode again. But we do have an interview lined up the Milltown Way. And that will take place tomorrow. So hopefully it will be out on social channels tomorrow. That will be the aim. Just depends on editing, I suppose, and
Yeah,
and the length that go to that's involved. It'll be going on YouTube, and there'll be clips from on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. But it is an interview about look with Rovers about Rovers. And it is we didn't reveal the name, I suppose, in the last episode. Keep people guessing. Um, you want to leave the fans wanting more.
yep,
But it is going to be with Robert Goggins, well known within and around the club. And yeah, that'll take place tomorrow. Hopefully, it will be out tomorrow evening. And yeah, so Robert, obviously, for those maybe who are unfamiliar, is part of the Shamrock Rovers Heritage Trust as well. He was there during one of the most uncertain periods in the club's history. And yeah, he'll have a lot of insight to give, and a lot of knowledge to partake. And Like, look, we touched on this in the last episode of the objective of everyone. The objective of us is to, give listeners a good listening experience within
Yeah,
the
and
this.
something different.
Yeah, exactly. This
You
is
can
the
only listen to
first.
us lot so much.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know why anyone would, but but yeah, exactly. It is something different. You're right. This is the first of its kind that we've done, and we do hope to branch out and we'll do more. And while we're on the topic, I suppose if there is anyone listening to this episode, if there is anyone that thinks they would like to be involved with the Milltown Way, and I mean, if you've stories to tell or anything. It can be in any way really. If you're listening, you want to partake in it, or even if you know people that you think will be good as well, suggest them or suggest yourself as well. Look, we're open to hearing from anyone and everyone really. The Milton Way is about Shamrock Rovers, for Shamrock Rovers, by Shamrock Rovers. Um, yeah, and as a look, our goal here with this podcast is we want to learn more. Honestly, you can't know too much about a football club, but we want to learn more, and we want to also teach listeners, even if there's anything that someone maybe didn't know, and listen to this podcast, and as well, as I said, overall, it's just if it's an hour of your day,
Yeah,
you know,
sticking on the way to work or something.
or if you're in work and there's a
Yeah,
boring meeting going on, maybe.
just stick it in your ear.
Yeah, you're working from home and you have a meeting on Zoom maybe or Teams.
And you don't want to listen.
Yeah, if you have to have your camera on, you can show you have your AirPods in maybe,
Yeah,
but you're actually not listening to the meeting. You're listening to the Milltown Way, and then someone asks you a question, you're caught off guard, and
yeah,
you're smiling and
yeah.
waving.
But I suppose enough on the podcast side of things. We should get into a bit more of the football action
The footy,
and preview this Friday night's game.
yeah,
Galway. Do
Galloway.
you want to talk about your little trip to get there? Plane, trains, and automobiles.
Look, it's not how you get there; it's that you get there. And I say that about cup games and cup finals, and I say it about Galway
Hmm.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Friday is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to be going. So initially, we're going on a trip, me and my other half, and then I said, "Why don't we go for a nice weekend away in Galway as well? Heard it's nice up there this
Yeah.
time of year." It just happened to coincide actually.
Pure chance.
Per chance, it just scheduling actually just lined up, and it happens to be the Shamrock Rovers are playing there on Friday night as well. Yeah, flying from on Friday from London to Knock Friday morning, um, and then getting the bus from Knock to Galway City. um, because we're flying from Dublin to London initially, but yeah, we're not coming back that way. Um, yeah, that's it really. That's
Yeah.
Friday morning flight from London to Knock.
How do you get
Bus.
from Knock then to Galway? Bus.
Yeah, there's like a bus air or
And then the
expressway bus.
train home then from Galway the next day.
Yeah, probably.
There's probably not one that night.
No, sure. Well, it doesn't cater for League of Ireland fans.
No, it stops at usually half time.
Yeah, exactly. You catch the first 5 minutes, then you have to walk back. But yeah, that'll be good. And hopefully, they'll be topped off with 3 more points in the bag.
Yeah, to continue on the streak of 3 points galore at the moment.
Yeah. Um.
But yeah, we're getting to that then quarter day kickoff. It's not a televised game. They're showing Pats Waterford instead. Because yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully Waterford can get their first win of the season.
Yeah. What better time to start than at Richmond Park?
Exactly. And yeah, Roberts have already played Galway once this year. With a 2-0 win in Tallaght. Couldn't argue about that. Danny Grant, Aaron Green goals. And the last time they were down in Galway, when do you think it was? How long ago? When do you reckon? Do you remember
Well,
the
I have it in
score?
front. I have it in front of me.
Oh.
Um,
You did
so
your research.
sorry to spoil your party there. It was goalless the last time.
Yeah,
The last time there was a goal scored.
yeah.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it Rory Gaffney?
Kind of mad to think that Rovers played Galway 4 times last year. Only 2 goals were scored across the 4 games.
Yeah,
Both by Rovers. one in an away game and one in a home game.
And well, I'm sure that a lot of us do, anyways. Remember the home victory, the 1-0 was of
Hmm.
course that title clinching game as well.
Yeah, it
Dylan
was.
Watts free kick.
Yeah, after they finally wrapped it up. Remember, there was the whole each week, will they, won't they?
Yeah, well, I thought it was. I thought at one point it was never going to end, and then it was kind of one of them where it was like, right, that's not funny anymore because it was law.
Yeah,
It was like, what was it? Lost after I think it might have been 2 or 3 defeats on the bounce.
yeah, well,
Shells,
it was.
Pats, Derry.
It wasn't good, and especially with us going to each match, expecting, hoping that would just be clinched, even though you
Thought,
knew it was all but over. It's just the fact that you want it in writing.
yeah, and well, there was another chance of it to be. There was another chance to have another year singing won the league in Inchicore.
Yeah, that was what we were hoping for, but didn't come to fruition that time. But could this year?
Yeah, yeah. No, look, Eamon DC Park is a tough venue for Rovers. Don't tend to they don't tend to get much joy there. They do because Galway haven't really been able to put their rubber stamp on Rovers. But it's a long trip generally. You know, about 2.5 hours, I
Yeah,
think. But they're going to be backed by a sold out away end as well, which is another positive.
yeah, and also they have a impressive enough home record so far this season. Like Galway in total only have garnered 17 points this season with 4 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses. But out of them 17 points, 11 of them were at home.
Yeah,
So like a majority of their points have come at home, which usually is the case. But 3 wins out of their 4 have been at home. They've only lost one game at home this season so far. So
yeah. It's going to be like they do like Eamon DC Park. They do well. You know,
yeah,
like
it does be
it's
allowed. It does be loud, and going on them losing at home. It was actually the first game of the season they lost at home to Drogheda. They haven't lost at home since.
well,
I'm not filling you with confidence.
no, you're not. Um,
I'm just providing the stats. Just doing my job.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Don't shoot the messenger.
Exactly.
They did have obviously they're due to play Shells at home.
Yeah,
That
which
game
was
ended up being postponed.
due to
About
the protests
yeah,
and the
or no,
blockades.
it was weather that time I think because
No,
it was only announced like half an hour before kickoff.
it was the blockades because remember it was the 2 games that weren't out that were outside Dublin that week were postponed.
Yeah, why did they announce it so late?
'Cause I don't know.
Common sense doesn't.
Well, it was like that time in the weather, and they called it off. Remember, like it was a Cork that time, and they called it off like half an hour before.
When Rovers played,
Yeah,
yeah,
and then the Cork fans were kicking off when you were at the ground.
yeah,
Because I purposely didn't leave the house. I only lived nearby because I was like, I'm not leaving just in case. And you were down there, and were saying they were all kicking off.
yeah. No, they were getting rowdy. That's why look, you'd be quite upset.
Yeah, imagine making the journey down to Cork and you didn't get to watch Rovers.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and one of the things between Shamrock Rovers and Galway is Rovers have like look, there's a fair share maybe of draws there, as we said.
Yeah.
3 of them ending goalless, or sorry, 2 of them ending goalless last season out of 4 meetings. But
Hmm.
Galway actually haven't beaten Rovers since 2006.
That's, yeah, it's a considerable amount of time.
And that was in the cup. And you have to go back to 1994 since the last time they beat them in the league.
We don't want, yeah, that's a long time, but we don't want that being changed anytime soon.
No.
Galway as well this season haven't been great at the back. They haven't kept a clean sheet in 11 matches now.
Yeah.
When Rovers are the opposite and have kept and have the best defensive record so far this season.
Yeah, well, there you that might maybe that'll tell a different story. And
Yeah, it seemed like all the facts I'm reading out are in Galway's favour.
yeah, and then I suppose you do have to look. You'll have to. It's very likely you're going to have the return of Pico Lopez into the starting 11 as well to
Yeah,
provide even more stability.
we won't be Pico less anymore.
Good lord, this needs to stop.
Yeah, just cancel the show.
Yeah. But yeah, look, I suppose the important thing here is Rovers are top of the league, and
Yeah,
you know you want to we've touched on this I think before, but you don't want it to be Rovers switching places again, going back to
No.
second. You want them to be able to stay top and stay top now for a while, maintain that kind of push, and
Hmm.
you know, I suppose your confidence will grow. Like, look, Rovers are going to be a confident team, in anyways, given this track record and being the double holders as well.
Yeah.
You can't forget that. But I suppose it's more like, you just want to, yeah, you want to maintain momentum, and you can't do that if you're going to keep swapping places with first and second. It means you're dropping points.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, you want to just stay where you are. Ideally, they don't drop place again now until the start of next season. They stay where they are.
Yeah,
When the only time don't want to see Rovers top is before the season starts, when it's in alphabetical order.
yeah, yeah. So we're, you know what, this podcast, call it a
This is the last ever episode.
day. It's our farewell tour.
Yeah,
Um,
the last time is now.
but yeah, look, I think there's definitely a lot of positive performances to take in now to go for aim in DC Park.
Yeah,
Like John McGovern, I really hope now that that's the performance that really unlocks him, because you've seen him kind of, you've seen, like, look, from his performances till now. With McGovern, you've seen he's the effort. You can't fault his effort
no,
in any way, but you just felt like it wasn't connecting for him, or it wasn't,
yeah,
wasn't things weren't clicking. Today it did, and everything fell right for him. As I said, the only thing probably complaint he'll have is that he didn't get the third and get a hat trick. But
yeah,
if that's the only complaint you have, well then I'm sure we'll all be happy to hear that.
yeah. I hope this is the John McGovern we see week in, week out. Now, well, obviously, he's not going to get 2 goals and an assist every week, but in terms of
Never
the
say
level of
never.
in terms of the level of performance today was by far his best performance for Rovers this season, and we've never ever faulted his effort, but sometimes it just feels like he just doesn't sometimes put the right chances away and stuff. But today he was clinical. His effort was obviously tremendous as always, but that's exactly what you want each week.
Yeah, I think like performances like that from him and from Elise Asamoah as well, it gives Bradley more room for thought, more food for thought.
Yeah,
Because I think up until recently, and maybe up until that performance, you might have thought, with no rotation, when it's week to week, it's mainly been Graham Burke and Michael Noonan to start up as the front two. As I always say, front two on paper. You see
yeah,
Graham Burke lurk around everywhere on the pitch. Um, but like that performance like that from McGovern has to make Bradley think now, rethink maybe his selection. And particularly you want to continue his kind of feature in the first in the or in on the pitch.
hmm,
You want it to continue while he's in this form.
yeah,
We want this to be the start of something. I feel like I'm starting quoting a Michael Jackson song there. You got to be starting something.
yeah,
Um, but like that, look, I think John McGovern, if you give him another, if you play him on Friday, there's a chance that he just builds on this evening's
yeah,
performance, and if he does that and continuously follows up with more balls in nets or lead to
yeah,
assists, or
yeah.
you're not going to really complain too much. And
Definitely not. No.
and I also give thought for when Rory Gaffney does return soon,
Yeah.
that maybe his return isn't so seamless.
Oh, don't. I just want to see Rory Gaffney back though. In general, I miss him. I think we all do.
The fact that he hasn't played since he scored a double and to win Rovers the double.
He knew what he
We
was
can't go a
doing.
week without talking about Rory Gaffney.
No,
He
I
kicked
mean,
the ball and it's May.
same with Corey O'Sullivan, but at least he plays.
Yeah. I think he's injured at the moment as well, so he wasn't in the
Yeah.
squad today. But
So we
uh,
didn't have our usual couple of minutes. The
our
Corey corner.
our core, the Corey corner. Oh Lord. Yeah, but I think overall, look, I think Rovers should be confident, and they will be confident going into
Yeah.
the game. As much as I said, AMD Park is a bit more difficult, I think, for Rovers in terms of draws. Draws seem to be a common theme just when Rovers are away. And anyways,
Yeah.
you know,
Definitely more common when Rovers are away with the draws. And if you're looking even at their home record compared to their away record, the home record is a lot better. Rovers are still unbeaten in Tallaght this year. 7 wins out of 8.
yeah,
1 draw, that's it. But then the away record is where they do falter that a little bit. 3 draws away from home, 2 losses, only 2 wins. So that's where they tend to be a bit more vulnerable, is when they're away from home. But hopefully that changes now this week.
Yeah, well, hopefully so. And well, you couldn't ask for much more, and particularly now that Rovers have extended, just got a bit of breathing room there at the summit. That if they can follow up with another result, well, hopefully maybe Waterford get their first win of the season, as we
Yeah,
said, and give Stephen Bradley a helping hand, and just in trying to get a bit more of a gap now, and also we're now on the tail end of the 3 games in a week. That we always
the
seem to
double
harp on
game
about.
week.
Yeah, but like now that like that, 'cause I think when you like look, it's I say it probably all the time, but yeah, you just kind of forget that Friday is still within a week. As in like
Yeah,
it's that third game within the space of 7 days. Um, so it's tougher for the players, and that's where the management of minutes is so crucial. And it'll be interesting then to see where Rovers go from here. And yeah, we just need more continuous good performances, probably maybe a bit more solidity at the back compared to tonight. As I said, there was just moments where unnecessary passes, putting unnecessary pressure on the Rovers back line, putting unnecessary pressure probably on Ed McGinty and yeah, just in the back line in general from Sabawali to Asamoah. Uh, yeah, just a bit more maybe calmness and a bit more fluidity at the back.
yeah, it's definitely that would be nice. But hopefully, when you hear from us next, we're talking about another positive performance and a positive win.
Yeah, you can't get tired of talking about Shamrock Rovers winning football matches
Definitely not.
back to back. As I said, from as we were saying there, from Waterford, 2 wins over the Maybank holiday weekend. If Carl's ready to Maybank holidays, this would be it. And I suppose on the final note of that is just it's good to see that Rovers were able to build from Waterford.
Yeah,
To see that there was, that you can just see the improvements that were there, and not to say look, not to say that maybe come Friday it might not be as perfect as it was tonight, essentially, but
no,
um, like once you're seeing that steadily growth and like look performances like Watford are okay once they're rare, and well at the moment they're being proved to be rare because
yeah,
they followed up tonight with nearly a polar opposite performance.
yeah. It was just a phenomenal performance all around, and hopefully that trend continues.
Yeah. I suppose we'll leave it at that. Um, Thanks for listening as always. If you do listen to this podcast, do make sure to share it around. Tell your mates about it, tell your family about it.
Yeah, tell your granny, your granddad.
Exactly. Tell them to play it out loud for them, so everyone can hear. But yes, obviously we'll be back after Galway. This podcast will be available across all the platforms, or Spotify's, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, we will hopefully have that interview out live. You're gonna hear this Tuesday morning, so hopefully it'll be out this evening. But yeah, other than that, thanks for listening, and we'll chat to you after Galway.
thank you.